Learning to the Nishmas, Etta, Ahuva, Yaakov, Makos, Perik, Beis, Mishna Vav. So the beginning of the Mishnah we spoke out in Mishna Daled. Someone who kills, whether it's b'shegeg or mezid, goes to the Ari Miklat, according to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, and then one of three things could happen. Mishin is chayiv misa bebezdin is hargu. Shloimie is chayiv misa is patru. Mishin is chayiv galus. Machzir noisim mekayim. Mishinev mishiva yisei el ir mekatim. We spoke out then that Rebbe argues and holds that me'atzmin hayugaylin, because people think that echad mezid echad shegeg kultus, but they didn't know that shegeg kultus and mezid ain't kultus. And Teis Yantav over here brings down that that's why it says it Beloshin Plukta, that Rabbi Yehuda says it because Rebbe himself, who says in the Mishnayos, argues on it. Echa Meshuach b'Shemen HaMishcha, ve'echa Meruba b'Gadim, ve'echa she'avar me'mishichasa, machzir and eser ritzeya. So these three Kohanim Gedolim, if they die, then the ritzeach could come out of the Ir Mikla, and he's pater from Galus. So the first two, Meshuach Mishcha and Meruba b'Gadim, are both a regular Kohen Gadol. Just one was before the Zman of Yeshia, when they were Meshuach b'Shemen HaMishcha, and one was afterwards when there was Nignaz the Shemen HaMishcha, and then the only thing that made him a Kohen Gadol was the fact that he wore a begadim. And the third one is talking about a Kohen Gadol who became a temporary Kohen Gadol because the real Kohen Gadol had Keri, so he was appointed, and then when the real Kohen Gadol comes back, now he is no longer the Kohen Gadol, so he's called Abra Mebshichas. He was removed from his temporary Meshichas. All three, we learn now, because it says Kohen Gadol three times in the Parsha, if they die, then the Ritzeach is pater from Galus. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Af Meshuach Mechama, Machzer Ritzeach, because he darshins a fourth pasuk which says Kohen but doesn't say Kohen Gadol. Lefichach, Imaysein Shakohenim Misafkes lemichya v'ksos kadei shelo yispalo b'neim sheimusu. Because if the Kohen Gadol dies, the Ritzeach is going to go free. So now, where the mothers of these Kohanim were afraid that the Ritzeach is going to die, that the Kohen Gadol should be nifter, their child should be nifter, and therefore the mothers of the Kohanim wanted to make sure that the Ritzeach wouldn't daven for that, and they made them happy by giving them food and clothes in the Ir Mikla. The Gemara says that just because the Ritzeach davens, the Kohen Gadol is gonna die. We find that a killas chinam doesn't happen for no reason. So the Gemara says that the Kohen Gadol should have been mevakish rachamim on their dar, that there should have been no ritzicha, not even b'shegeg, and they weren't mevakish. And that's why the Kohen Gadol would have died. It's not considered a killas chinam. And we'll see soon a bigger chiddush. In the next line it says, Mishanig Mardinai Meis Kohen Gadol, Hareze Einig Goyle. If the Kohen Gadol dies before he even goes to Galus, then he doesn't even have to go to Galus. Because the Gemara explains, Mi the Galus come mechaper, it's not the Galus that's mechaper, Mi says Kohen who the mechaper. It's the Mi says Kohen that's mechaper. So if it's mechaper you to take you out of Galus, so surely it's mechaper you that you don't have to go to Galus in the first place. But im achalig nigmar dina meis Kohen Gadol umano acher tachtav leacher mikan nigmar dinai chleizeh b'misasei shel sheni. If b'shas his gemar din, it was already after the Kohen Gadol died, and now there's already a new Kohen Gadol, so then you go bust the new Kohen Gadol. So like we said, the Gemara over here asks, what was this new Kohen Gadol supposed to do? He couldn't have, you don't have the taina of Hoyle Levakish Rachaman Aldeiran Aloy Bikish, because he wasn't even the Kohen Gadol when the Ritzicha happened. The Gemara says, Achidish Hoyle Levakish Rachaman Sheyigmar Dinay L'schos Aloy Bikish. He should have been Merachim. He should have been Mevakish Rachaman that this Ritzeach's Gemar Din should have come out L'schos. Mishna Zayin Nigmar Dina B'Aloy Kohen Gadol, or Hahare Kohen Gadol, or Kohen Gadol Shaharek. So in all these three cases, there was no Kohen Gadol b'shas his Gemar Din. So then, Eini Yetzi Misham La'olam. Eini Yetzi Lo'ilei Dis Mitzvah Lo'ilei Dis Mam Lo'ilei Dis Nefashas. Ritzeach can't come out of Galus not for Eidis Mitzvah, like Eidis HaChodesh, or to say testimony on Dini Mamas, Dini Nefashas. Afilu Yisrael Tzrichim Leiv Afilu Sar Tzva Yisrael ki Yoyib ben Tzurui, even in general, Eini Yitzim Misham Oilam Shenem Asher Nas Shama Shamte Dirasai, Shamte Misasai, Shamte Kfurasai. Shamte Kfurasai is, the Gemara says that if it's Nigmar Dinai, and then the Ritzeach dies, it's Me'lichin Es Atzmaisa L'Sham. It's a din Kfura of the Goy Adam, of the Ritzeach in the Ir Mikla. Kishem she'ir kailet is kach tchum kailet. The same way the ear hamiklet is kailet, so too the tchum is kailet. You're not allowed to live there, the Gemara says, but it's kailet. And the Mishnah says another halacha: Reitzeach sheyatza chutz l'tchum u'matzu goy adam. If the Reitzeach went outside the tchum, v'yoseg li lo'emer mitzvah b'yad goy adam reshus b'yad kol adam. It's a mitzvah for the goy adam to kill the Reitzeach. Rikiva omer reshus b'yad goy adam. Kol adam ein chayav alo. So it's machlokes of Yossi Aglili and Rabbi Akiva whether the Goy Adam is a mitzvah or only rishus, and for Shar Kol Adam, it's machlokes whether it's rishus or just ein chayav alav. The Shaila and the Girsa, some Rishonim are geirs Kol Adam chayav alav. Ilan shu oimei b'seichat chum b'noifei noite chutz l'tchum or oimei chutz l'tchum b'noifei noite l'seichat chum. So let's say there's a tree and the trunk of the tree is in a different area than the branch. You go bust of the tree or bust of the branch. As the Mishnah says, if you go after the branch, the Gemara asks the question, and the second teretz, the Gemara says, "My achar noif, achar noif." That if the noif is chutz l'tchum and you're under the noif, we'll say that it's we'll shadin a noif bas ikra, and we'll say that it's kailit. And if the noif is bifnim and the trunk is bachutz, then you'll say the opposite also, that shadin and ikur basa noifai, also to say that you can't kill him both ways, l'chumra. The last halacha in the mission is harag ba'isei ir goylam mishchuna l'shchuna. If someone kills within the ir miklat itself, so then he goes to goes from one neighborhood to another neighborhood. Or Ben Levi, if it was a resident of the city, the Ben Levi himself, so then, Goylam Ir, he could leave the Ir Mikla and go to Golas in a different Ir Mikla.